Welcome to Jamie TV. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. It's great to have a few people in the chat already. If you are watching live now and not in the chat, just throw something in there so I can say hi. If you're watching from the future, then welcome from the past. If you're watching from the past, then that's some serious Doctor Who timey-wimey bullshit going on right there. I've been working on a horror track, like a sort of a faux kind of horror movie, kind of a soundtrack kind of thing. And tonight seemed like the perfect evening to try and finish it off. I'm not saying that this evening I'm going to have it absolutely done and dusted and finished, but I want it to be kind of approaching that way. Now, I noticed during that playthrough there that something wasn't working. It always seems to be the way that I'll get everything, because kind of before I start the stream, I think I want to play the track as it is right now so that you can hear where we've got to, everything I've done so far. So I'll try and get, a reasonable sounding mix for you to listen to and make sure everything's working. And then, of course, when I press play, there's always something that doesn't work. So in this case, let's just go to this view here. In this case, I was not hearing the drums from Slammer, which I think are one of the most effective things in the project. So I just want to have a quick look here. Let's use my mouse. What's going on with Slammer? Well, it appears to be there. So why would it not be working? What is going on? That seems to be the right setting. Now, if I just arm this track, and I am not hearing anything when I press the keys on my keyboard. What's going on? Well, that's not impressed me. And what about this effect? Was this effect working? I didn't notice that it wasn't. Let's have a look. That one wasn't working either. So, let's just have a look at the desk. Okay. Well, Slam Knob's turned up nice and high, and so is Slammer. I've got two instances of Slammer in this project. That's kind of annoying. Let's see now. What could it be? Let's open this instance of Slammer. See, sometimes when that happens, all it is the AV3 just hasn't loaded up. Just for some reason, the doors had some kind of a brain fart when you've loaded up the project, and it's just not loaded up that AV3. It just seems like both instances of that app have failed, but seem to appear to be there. Now, I can't think of any reason why, because they're all going to the drum bus, and the drum bus is obviously working because the other drums are working, right? Who knows? I'm tempted to just come out of my project and restart it. I know not. Let's have a look who's in the chat while I have a think about it. Hey, Audible. Thank you for being here, Audible. Always good to see you. At the end of the Spooktacular show, sadness, I guess I'll have to watch the reruns. Well, I always kind of think, live streams are definitely more fun if you're there and you're part of the chat. But I do watch an awful lot of live streams after the event. Particularly Jade's channel is usually not convenient for me to watch at the time, so I watch after the fact. And I have the chat on the replay just so I can sort of, catch up with what everybody was saying. Hey, Grant and Matthias, thanks for joining me, mate. I'm glad they're not working you too hard this week so you can't watch. Yeah, let's just try a restart, Grant. Let's just do that. I'm going to come out of the project with that annoying button that everybody presses like, several times an hour, meaning to do something else and just come out of the project, right? It seems to have saved. We'll load it back up. And that is still not working. And the other one, let's give it a chance. No. So I've obviously done something, haven't I? Bank holiday tomorrow, perfect streaming time. Oh, cool. It's not a bank holiday here. Right, well, I have to confess to being slightly befuddled by that. Let's just check a few other things, make sure everything else was working. I think that this was working, the bell in the background. Yeah, that's working. All right. And I definitely heard all those synths. And Donna B1 was working. I added an extra bass. What I did was, you see, I've always liked that sort of acid bass kind of a sound, even though I'm not a massive fan of acid music, particularly. For me, when listening to music that's not necessarily my favourite thing, there's usually something about it that I do like. And I have always liked that squeaky acid bass thing. And I've been experimenting a lot recently with using it in these sort of cyber metal tracks that I've been doing. But not using it as a bass, using it as a kind of as a melodic instrument. Bringing it in and out of the track here and there. And I wanted it here for the dance section at the end of this track. But what I found was, because I'm using Model D for the basses earlier in the track, when it got to that bit, it was seriously lacking on the low end, because of course with that squeaky bass sound, what you're doing is you're adding some gain and some filtering and stuff, and it takes away from low end. It's the same problem as when you use overdrive on a bass guitar. You add that great sounding, dirt to your bass, and you lose low. That's why I always split my signal and have a clean sound for the lows and a dirtier sound for the highs. So what I've done here is I copied the MIDI that I was using for Donna B1. But if I just go into one of those instances here, you'll see that it really dances about the frequencies, because I find when you're programming that kind of bass groove and you want it to squeak, you kind of have to push the octave. So I've used a lot of these octave jumps here, and so I copied the MIDI and set up another bass track, and then I brought all the notes to, so there's a note here for every note in the other bass part, but where it's dancing about the frequencies in the other part, in this it's not. It all remains within one octave, and it's set quite low. And for now, I'm just using a Logic internal sound, and it sounds like this. And it's actually set very quiet. Let me just turn that up on my desk. Right, so it's only really quiet, but when you mix it with the Donna B1, and then without the low bass, See, and it just puts that low end back in that we've lost by using the filtering and the overdrive and stuff. Um, so that really improved things for me. And once I got that right, I was kind of happy. But that happiness has now been destroyed by my slammer instances not working, and they sound great. I wonder if I can, let's see, if I just set up a loop round this bit here, and then we'll play. Right, we'll play that loop, and then I'm just going to have a look at everything. So let's see, we've got. Now I've got some effects after this one, but that can't be affecting it because, the other instance isn't working anyway, so can't be that. Open it up. Now the master volume is set really low, but that's how I set my pre-gain, that's how I gain stage this app. Yeah. Now let's see. The preset is right. So very annoying. Right, we'll have another look at the desk. Plenty of volume. And we're sending that. Hang on, let's just check where we're sending it to. The sends are going to Lunar Lander. We're sending it to bus 1, which is the drum bus. Yeah. So that's right. It's just so and although we're sending them to Lunar Lander, when I solo Lunar Lander, I'm not hearing them there either. So they definitely just seem to not be working at all. The MIDI, there can't be any problem with the MIDI because they just can't. Because in the Clevegrant apps, the samples are spread over one octave and then it just repeats up and down all the octaves. So I really am at a loss as to what could possibly be wrong there. I simply have no idea. I could try, I suppose, just relaunching that once again. We've got a hanging note now. Well, okay, we're having all the problems today. Right, that's Sampletron that's doing that. So, let's just... There we are. Okay. I know that like most apps have a MIDI panic in them, but I find if you just use your controller and just play those notes, it usually just clears it off. Annoying. Well, I don't know what to say about Slammer. I noticed that the CPU is riding a little high in this project, so maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just like it's just kicked one app off. I don't know. But when you can't see anything wrong with it, now wait a minute. I did have a problem with Hammerhead a while ago, and what that was doing was, hey Princess, thanks for joining us. I'm right in the middle of a bit of a technical hassle. Yeah, what Hammerhead was doing was it was loading up fine, but the preset wasn't loading properly. It was like sat there with no preset in it. Although I think that Slammer has a default, so let's put that loop back on, and we'll just solo the two instances of Slammer, right? And then if I go here, now the problem is I've changed the preset. I've changed the preset since I last saved it. So that's going to be a bit of a bind. So let me just have a look at it. We've got a tom there. Tom, I'm just looking at the pans where I put them. And I took the reverb off. And okay, well, let's just reload it. Right, okay, well, I've loaded a different one up and that's not making any sound either. Alright, let's just put this back how it was. And that volume was quite low. Okay. Well, another option is I could just delete the AV3 and just reload it again. I could try that. But I've just had a thought. Maybe I should just go here to the drum bus and I just thought maybe I should take them out of the drum bus and just send them straight to the stereo out, but that's not made any difference either. So, okay, I will delete the AV3 off. And reload it, which is very annoying. Okay, now I better go into it first off and turn it right down. Turn off those drums. No, I'm getting nothing. Well, I really don't know. Well, I'm going to have to leave it for now anyway, because the main point today is to finish the track off. um, and I need to do those atmospherics that I've been going on about since I started doing this project. Now, when I very first started working on it, I was talking about using some apps to create some kind of some noise, some background effects, some kind of spooky introduction before the music kicks in, perhaps. And I decided that, because normally, well, I quite often start tracks off like that. So I'll do something like that and then I'll start working on the music. And I decided that this time I wanted to get the music in place and then do those atmospheric things. Now, there's all kinds of apps that you could use for stuff like this. But I think that the apps from Audio Thing are particularly exceptional, especially for this kind of thing. So I'm going to have a pissy pants around with some Audio Thing apps, and the problem is that I'd kind of got it in mind that the echo effect that I was making with Slammer would be a good starting point, like before the track, to build that around. But if I can't get it working, I can't get it working. Well, okay, I could try that Audible. I have done that before in Cubasis actually, and it's worked. So, we could try that. Right. So, if I just start a new track as from scratch. Hey DJ, thanks for being here, dude. I'm in the middle of a slight Slammer crisis. So forgive me if I'm a little off topic. So we're going to create a track here. And I'll tell you what, let's just create a MIDI track with no instrument on it. Okay. Then we'll go here and load Slammer. If I can remember how to type. Right, the audio extension has quit unexpectedly. Tap to reload the extension. Right, so it seems like there is some kind of problem with Slammer. But why? Right, now if that track is armed, I should be getting some drums, and I am not. I wonder if it's been updated. Let's go and have a look. Sometimes when apps get updated and they're in your project, not been updated for a year. Well then, I really don't know. I will just try copying that MIDI across though. It worked. It worked. Okay, so let's load up the preset. Oh, wait a minute, it wasn't that one, was it? That one's working now. That one is working now. Okay, is that one working? It is. It's working. That's insane. Okay, well, I need to check my presets now then. So what I'll do is just delete that track off. Right, okay, then we'll go have a look at Slammer. Could have been a memory issue, Audible. Could, yeah. Right, so now we need to get this right. So the reverb needs turning down. Oh, no. Let's just get my preset, which is called Invaders from Pleb for some reason. Turn the reverb down. Okay. Right, let's just sort the pans out then. So, actually, no, they're not far off. Okay. Right, then we'll just check this one. Can't believe this. It sounded so awesome just before I started the stream. Okay, it's on the right preset. And is that pan to center? It is. And the reverb's off. Right, so that one's fine. Right, so let's just blend these into the track now then. We'll go to the desk first job. Close those sends so I can see my faders okay. Right. Okay, right, so let's just hear that section then, because we didn't hear it properly earlier. Just close this up a little bit so I can see what's going on in my project. And if I start it here. Okay, right. I did it, yes. And thank you everyone for being patient, and thank you for your suggestions and help. That's right, DJ, yes. That's one advantage of ancient hardware synths, no software issues. But there are, yes, as Audible just said, yes, there are hardware issues too. My hardware issue is that I actually just attempted to buy something on eBay, and well, I was going to attempt to buy it. You must have all done this, right? Have you ever done that thing where you're watching something on eBay and you're like, I'm going to get that. I'm going to offer up to X amount and hope to get it, and I'm going to put my bid in at the last minute. And so it was due to finish about 15 minutes before the stream. So I was just getting all my cameras ready, and I've got my phone with eBay, right, in front of me, so I can't miss it. So it just, I'm just waiting for it to get down to the last couple of minutes, and then I'll get ready to make a bid. And I'm getting all my cameras ready, and then I just got distracted by something shiny and forgot all about it, and it finished, and absolutely nobody bid on it. So I could have won it like for cheap. So yeah, so there was some very colourful swearing and obscene language going on just before the stream. Right, so let's go to the beginning of the project and see if we can't do what I intended to do right at the start of this stream. I need to get a bit closer in. Okay. So I had this thought, that sound effect that I'm using in Slammer, maybe that could be used right at the beginning. So the music kicks in here, and it sounds like this at the very beginning. Right. And then in the first gap after that, we get this sound effect. Then the drums come in and it goes into the next section. That sound effect, I think it would be nice if we heard that at the beginning. So I'm going to press copy and drag that over here. Now I'm not sure exactly where to place this. I'm just going to grab that, and I was thinking of grabbing this bell sound as well. Maybe having one of... God, you really can't do that with a mouse, can you? I'm just going to do that with my finger. Right. Maybe, perhaps, put these over here. What would it be like if maybe we had the slam knob sound effect and then the bell after it? What would that be like? Too far apart at that. Just want to put this to snap to bar. There. Okay. Is that going to be too close? What does that sound like? That's all right, actually. That's not bad. Of course, now, the first section of my track is in 13/8. And so, although the track sort of starts there at the moment, all this beginning section at the moment will be set to 13/8. So I need to decide, am I going to leave this bit 13/8? We'll just build it and see how it works. You know, it might be magic in 13/8. It may suck massively. We'll just see. I seem to be having problems today. Just select it. Let's just use that multi-select tool, for God's sake. Right. I'll drag that over there. Now, what would it be like if there's two lots of those effects back to back? Right. Now, I'm not sure how, what's the word? How, that I want the timing of this to be. I don't know if I want it to be like a sort of a repetitive part, or if I want these to be placed more randomly. But just for now, I'm going to copy a few of these over so I've got something to work with. So there we go. We've got, let's have a couple more of them maybe. I'll copy another one there, and another one to here. Right, so I've got a little section to work with. And I accidentally press record and have the metronome set really loud because I'm pretty deaf. So sorry about that. Okay, right now I'm going to show you a trick. Down here I've got Mini Bit by Audio Thing, and I've got Lines by Audio Thing ready to use. But I found there's a specific way to set up lines, or indeed speakers. So I'm going to add speakers to the project, and I'll show you what I mean. So if I add a MIDI track here, and then we'll go and add audio things. Why is that not coming up? Let's go into audio units. Right, okay. It's not coming up because it's not an instrument. Speakers is an effect app, not an instrument app. So if I go to audio effects on this track and add speakers, what will happen is you'll not get any audio from it. I'll just prove that. So if I solo this speakers track, and then I'm going to press play, and if I turn up background noise, we should have sound, but we don't have sound because I've only added an audio effect to this track, and there needs to be an instrument on the track for the effect to work for some reason, which doesn't really make any logical sense, because if it was like if you were using a real mixing desk and you used a guitar pedal that you can make feedback into itself, you know, you can use that as an instrument. So with a real desk you could do that. So I think that's silly. So I'm going to go to instrument and I'm going to add external instrument. Now this is the app that we use to, like I've used it for B1. So we use it when we want to send MIDI out to a hardware instrument and hear the audio back in on that channel. It's just for the sake of something, just having something in that slot. Right, so now if I open speakers, it should work. Alright, so we'll have transport moving, and then when I turn up background noise, it works. So now I've demonstrated speakers before. So if you haven't seen it before, a very quick overview. You set this up on a channel, so you've got an instrument on this channel, and then you add this as an effect, and by using these windows here, you can make it sound like that instrument is being played through, say, this Soviet hexagonal speaker, or this piezo pickup, or earbuds, smartphone, ancient telephone, you know, all kinds of stuff. And you get lots and lots of controls to adjust how they sound. In addition to that, you can add background noise, and that's all I want this app for today. I simply want the background noise. So if I turn that up, you will hear, right, an old boiler sound. Now some of these background sounds are a bit louder than others, so I'm just going to try and be very careful with the level here. Let's just have a listen through some of the available background sounds. Broken radio. That could be quite eerie. A computer. Laptop fan. A low fan rumble type thing. It's almost a drone in itself. Fans, freezer, fridge. Mobile phone interference, hard disk, light, neon, power supply, siren, spinner, tape recorder, cave, Cliffs, construction site, driving. Garden. Nothing particularly spooky about that one, though. Industrial estate. Now this is a really spooky one. Notre Dame. I mean, that on its own could be an introduction. C, server room, tram station. Right, this was one I was thinking of. There's a couple of different ones for rain. Water drops. Okay, I like this one for rain. And then, of course, we can adjust the pitch of the rain. Right, now let's go and unsolo this, and we'll play this. Right, the position of those effects sounds a little too uniform for me. But I'm going to leave it for now while I build this up, and then maybe we'll take things away, shift things around. Right, so, rain. Now, I think there's a way that I can make this stop playing when the transport isn't moving. Is it the envelope? My mouse will not move the envelope button. Nope. Actually, neither will my finger. Ah, there we are. Okay. Okay. Now we switched it off altogether. Oh well. Okay. I thought that did that, but obviously it doesn't do that. So let's go and grab another audio thing app. I can always mute that just for now. So, what we got left to use? We've got what's listed in instruments for audio thing. We've got mini bit. Oh no, I already loaded up mini bit. Stupid. That's what I'll do. I'll just leave that for now. Get rid of that track. Okay, and let's go and have a look at lines. So lines, if you want a full demo of absolutely, every detail of how to use lines, then I suggest you go and look at Jade Starr's live stream about it, because it's a full, in-depth, brilliant tutorial. I'm going to use it today, and I'm going to kind of show you through a lot of things involved in it, but I'm wanting to finish this project, so I'm not going to show you every single detail. So you'll see on this track, I've done the same thing as I did on the track with speakers. I've got external instrument just to have something in that slot, not using it, and then lines is loaded as an audio effect. Now, lines it's a Heimbach collaboration. It's a really old piece of kit that was designed for testing telephone lines. If I go to presets here, in here you'll see there's basic presets. These are things that you would use to add an affected sound to an instrument. Rhythms play themselves. So, let's just solo that track. There we are. So with rhythms, you're going to get a sequence going on. And scapes, same thing too. So all these sounds are created just simply with this app, which is quite fascinating when you think what it was actually designed for originally. So I'm going to go up to basic and select initialize, and then I'm just going to have a piss pants around with it and show you how it works. We seem to have lost a camera. We've lost a camera. What's going on with that? Hang on. See, you just can't trust Android phones. Right. I think that should be working now. It is. Oh, I'll just give you a little tour of my studio. Right, and now we'll just pop it in its slot. There we are. Bring that over here so you can see the iPad a bit better for when I forget to use my mouse. There we are. It is. It is DJ. Most certainly is Halloween. Okay, right, where was I? There. Okay, so up here, if I press in one of these switches and put this switch on this section, you'll hear a little pulse. And you'll see we've got 8 pulses here, and I can just, switch some of them on, create a rhythm by switching some in and switching some out. Right, now this can run free, or it can be synchronized to your DAW. So at the moment I've got it free. So if I press stop on my transport, it continues, switch it over to sync, and then it won't do it again until I press play. I can sync my rate to my DAW like this. Okay, I've got a volume for that section here. And then if I play with this length here, you'll see that some of these switches will take them out of the picture. I guess that'll be pretty small on screen, but as I drag it back, now these three are grayed out, so it's just playing these first five. Right, now let's introduce some noise. It seems to be having a bit of a minute. Okay. Right, now let's add a bit of distortion. I'll switch on this distortion circuit. And then I'm going to have a play with this frequency control here. Here we switch on the frequency thingamajigger, and you'll see there's a plus and a minus next to it. If I move this while it's set to minus, alright, I've set it to plus. Okay. Now, down here, we can use these controls to modulate some of the controls in the app. So if I go to frequency shift here, you'll hear that I can do crazy things with it. And up here we can set up a feedback loop. So this interestingly titled knob here, called leakage, I believe this sends the sound to this feedback loop, which has a low pass filter. Okay, let's introduce some jitter. And we'll modulate that too. Right, I think we can also modulate the feedback, yeah. Okay. And the noise. Now, turn down the volume of these pulses. We're just left with the effect that we've created. And we've also got a second distortion circuit here. Oh yeah, I have to switch it on. Stupid hippie. Right. Now, when I bring that in, it seems to cancel out the other one. I don't know if that's some kind of phasing problem. Because I haven't thoroughly read the manual. But if I press this button down here, it seems to allow us to hear both. I'm going to modulate that one down here. Okay. And we've also got over here line selection, which brings a different tone into the equation. Kind of like that one. And then we've got high pass filters, low pass filters, and width. I think I like what I've got there. I just want it to run slower. Now, do I change the speed of the pulse sequencer or do I change the speed down here? Let's experiment. Okay, that's not making any difference. So there. I like that. That's bringing in a lot of different textures slowly. Now, if I come out of here, well, actually, while I'm here, let's just send this to Lunar Lander. I'm using Lunar Lander on just about everything at the moment because I thought it would have disappeared by now. I thought we would have lost this app completely by now. But on the iOS I'm using, which is 16.4, I think, it still works. So I'm avoiding updating for as long as I can. I'm just trying to get as much out of it as I can. Right, so sends. Send to Lunar Lander. Okay. Now I'm going to bring the volume of this one down, unsolo that. Right, okay, and we want speakers back in there. Okay. I think that's pretty effective so far. I'm thinking that maybe we'll introduce the elements gradually, and I'm thinking that maybe the bell and perhaps the slam knob will gradually fade in. I'm not sure. Ideas, but let's introduce more elements, then see what we have to play with. What HP do you have? Is that a question? Oh no, you're talking to DJ. Okay, I'll ignore you then. No offense. Right. Right. Let's use Minibit. Now, Minibit is awesome. Let's just go and take a look at it. So recently we got the from Audio Kit, we got the SNES synth, and we also got the Sega one as well. And they're fantastic because they contain all these sounds that sound like they're from like old retro computer and arcade games. And that's magic. They're awesome sounds, but you can only kind of manipulate them to a degree. What this is an actual synth, so you can actually program in your own sounds that sound like they came out of some, Commodore 64 game, which really takes me back. So let's just play a few sounds from here for you. Now, what's my volume like? Okay. Right, so in the presets here, we've got presets divided into categories, very helpfully. We've got bass sounds. We've got drum sounds. And we've got keys sounds, lead sounds. Some of them sound like they've come straight out of a game. And then we've got some that are like full-on sequences. And we've got some sound effects. There's loads of sounds in as I've been playing through here. There's loads of sounds that I thought could be used for this kind of track. This one I thought just a seriously unpleasant, irritating sound, perfect for a horror soundtrack. Right, now, let's see if we can't find one that might work in this track. Spooky ought to work, right? Okay, now I'm not feeling that one. Maybe in pads. Creepy. There's no ghost house. Oh, All right, yeah, I feel that one. Right, okay. Pixel Fog. Okay, I like that. Okay. What about some delay on that one? Okay. And what's the time set to on that? Maybe. Bit more feedback on it. An octave up, I think. Okay, yeah, I like that. Right, now we can bring the bit rate down and down the sample. I want this to be really kind of like, really sort of grainy and thin, I think. Yeah, we can achieve that with the filter. And what about the envelope here? A bit more release. Alright, I think that might well work. Let's just see. I'm just going to have a little pissy pants around with a few chords over what we've got right now. Okay. I think that could be quite effective. I'm sure that in both lines and in speakers, there's probably a way to make the those sounds stop when I stop the transport. That's something I need to have a look at. But if there isn't a way to do that, I could always use some automation to bring the volume down appropriately. So, DJ says it definitely recommends the Volca FM2. Yeah, we. By the way, DJ, do you have the first edition of the Volca FM? Because I've noticed that since the FM2's come out, the first one's going like really cheap on eBay. So I was wondering whether it might be worth purchase. I don't know, or should I just stick it out and get the second one when I can afford it? What do you think, sir? And how a DX7 is it? That's what I want to know. Right, let me just see these chords. I'm thinking we'll do something really, really creepy. Maybe if I go with if I start with, well, yeah, start with the, no, I want to be on, yeah, that's right. So what about the C sharp flat 6 to diminished, and then bring that all down one semitone and go C minor 6, C minor, C diminished. Let's see what that sounds like. And immediately I started on the wrong chord. Tosser. I'm not quite sure exactly how to space them out. Maybe I could do with a bit of metronome on that. Yeah. 13/8. And maybe some bass notes too. Okay. I hate that metronome. Yeah, the metronome made me play it out of time. Now, settings. Where's metronome? Can't remember. I can't remember where metronome is. The annoying thing about that is I included it in a video. I included it in a video how to just metronome settings. Wait a minute. Is it on that line or is it on that line? Right, it's on that line. Okay, so it's got to be in settings, general, recording, counting. I cannot remember. Hey, Semtex. Dude. Where are the metronome settings in Logic Pro? I've already looked in there. I know I have. Right. Oh, there. There we are. Right, volume. Less volume, please. You see, it just goes to show that even if you don't know what you're doing, if you just piss your pants around for long enough, it will be fine. Okay. Now, how the hell am I going to play this? I'll start there. If I just put that there, it should give me a 1 bar counting. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now let's go and see what we can do with that MIDI. If I look at it, then maybe I can see what the timing maybe should be. Yeah, okay, right. So if we do that, it makes a horrendous noise. Just in case you didn't know. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to press quantize to like to the bar. Yeah, I've noticed quantize does some very strange things when you're in weird time signatures. So I'll do it manually then, shall I? I want to snap that to bar as well. Okay. Right, we'll grab this. Okay, right. I kind of wanted a gap between the chords though. If I do this again, it makes a dreadful sound, just in case you didn't know. And then I go down here and I can change the length of the note. Now, Sam told me what to type in and I can't remember. So, oh, not a terrible guess. Let's just chop this MIDI part a bit. Right, now I think if I was to add a couple of bars to this, so that would give me, we'll add 1 extra bar. I'll copy these, drag them here, pull this MIDI back here, but chop it right there with the scissor tool and do the little childish pull the scissor thing down jobby. Move that to there. Right. And let's see if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. Should we try that again? Right, okay. Now I'm enjoying that mini bit sound. I think that's very, very appropriate. I love the kind of lo-fi crush quality of it. It wants a bit of reverb on it, but before we do that, I'm gonna see what it sounds like if we add wires to it. So another audio thing app, which this one is very much an effect app. And this one I did make, I made a full video, complete tutorial on this one. It's one I absolutely love. Now, this is based on an old Soviet wire recorder. So, again, another Heimbach collaboration. Using something that was not intended for the purposes of making music. So if I solo mini bit, and we'll just loop around what we have. And I'll have a pissy pants around with wires, and we'll see what we can do as far as making it that little bit more interesting, that little bit more lo-fi, and just add another dimension to it, bit more dirt. Let's see what we can do. I'm wanting it to have the wow and flutter as well as the sort of crushed quality. Now you can get some fantastic effects with this app if you use the start and stop playback button down here, which you can adjust the speed of as well. I did say how to do that in my video, and of course you can automate this as well. Right, all kinds of spooky, eerie sounds. And we can introduce some hiss and hum, motor sounds. What I'm really wanting to do with this is to add kind of a little bit of hiss, a little bit of hum, a bit of tape flutter, some clicks, just another layer of nasty sounds. Nothing needs to be turned up too loud. Okay, and then let's send that to Lunar Lander. Right, now hang on a minute. I remember something about this. If I... Yeah, okay. That's it. Okay, and you can use the envelope to cut it out when you stop the transport. That's what I was trying to do earlier with the other apps, so I probably can do that with them as well. Okay, right, so let's see what we've got right now. Okay, so we've got lots and lots of layers of atmospheric, grimy unpleasantness. I think I'm going to add one more layer, and then I'm going to just sort of start taking away and shifting around and try and make this into an actual thing. So let's grab thingy. Noises. Now I've used noises in absolutely loads of tracks, and I'm not bored of using it yet. It's just spectacular. I'm going to solo the track that it's on, and let's just find something that might be appropriate. Let's turn it down and then find something that might be appropriate. Something that could be made to sound really spooky. That's pretty spooky. Let's see if we can make it extra spooky. I'm going to slow that down. There, just a subtle amount of crushing going on in the background. Right, okay, now let's just bring that right down in volume. Unsolo it, then we'll blend it in. I'm wondering whether I need to pitch it up to make it sit in there, but we'll listen. Right. Okay, so I've got what is it? I've got wires and noises just starting and stopping with the transport. Can I do that with lines? I can't see how to do it, if you can. No, I can't see how to do it if you can. So, that's something I'll have to have another look at later. In fact, to be honest, although if you can, it would be nice to know, but still, I can make it work for me because I can use automation to make this work because I'd like to get this finished now. So let's see. Maybe a drone. If you were going to add a drone to this, then what's your favorite drone app? Some kind of drone app that's got some real kind of, monstrous sounds. What are your favorites? Throw it in the chat. I'm going to start seeing if I can piece this together in some way and make it into some kind of an introduction. What should it start with? Maybe start with the rain. So some idea of levels before I start doing this. Right. Let's open up automation. Put a node in there. We'll have one down here. Oh, no. It's on the wrong instrument. Down here. Done it again. No bad. We'll just add another one. Yeah, okay. So difficult to do with mouse this. Okay, I'm using my finger. Ooh. Let's do it with volume. Try again. Okay, solo this one. Right. Now, let's hear that volume creeping in. Okay, that's smashing. Now, maybe the rain comes in and then we hear... Rain comes in and then we hear a bell. Yeah, I just hate using the mouse, DJ. I just cannot get my head around it. It just always feels so clumsy to me. I much prefer using my fingers, but of course when I use my fingers, depending what I'm doing, people can't always see what I'm actually doing. Okay. So... Right. Okay. So we've got the automation set for the volume of the rain coming in. Now, when the rain comes in, I want the bell to hit. Well, actually, that's quite nice as it is. That's quite nice as it is. Hang on. The levels are all over the place, but... That's not bad, actually. All right, let's try bringing lines in. Maybe it all just builds a bit too quickly, though. Right, so we've got rain. Yeah. You know what? I like it. I think that is okay. But my rain is a bit too loud. So let's just go and grab the automation for the rain. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, now, where is lines going to come in? Maybe a couple of bars after the rain. Okay, so rain. Little lines creeps in. Okay, I like that. That works. So what else do we need to add? We've got noises. Right, so noises. Just want to play with this a little more. I like what it's doing. It's just a bit frantic. Can you believe I did that? Again, I am annoyed. I really, really, really hope that when they finally give us an update for Logic Pro for iPad, that they do something about that. Just far too easy to press on exit the project button. Okay. I'm going to bring this in for an extra layer towards the end. Round about bar 8, I think. So, excuse me, apologies. So when we're adjusting automation, first thing we need to do, the thing that I didn't do earlier, was make sure we're on the correct track. Then the other thing I didn't do earlier was make sure that you're adjusting the correct thing in automation. So we go in there and select volume. Then, don't try and do it with a mouse, because Bluetooth mice are shite. I take your point about the pencil. I don't have a pencil. I've seen people using pencil for very detailed things, particularly in that modular that modular app that I love that I can't think of the name of, but I guess there's a lot of really fine tweaking to do in that. Um, but yeah, I just don't have one. So right, pencil, Logic pencil. Do that, then take it off pencil. Everything goes seriously pear-shaped if you forget to take it off pencil. And then see what it'd be like bringing that in for that last section there. Okay, nothing seems to be working now. Probably just because I exited it suddenly like that. That should be... Ah, the rain's working now. There we go. Rain. Okay, not all these apps are working now. I think what I've noticed before actually with noises that if it doesn't work, you simply go to it, open it, and then from there it will work. So let's just try the same thing with speakers. Oh no, that one's working. Lines. Yeah, that's working now. And so now we should hear wires come in. No noises. Right. Now, I kind of think like I kind of wanted it to be sort of to kind of for it all to creep in a bit more. Right. I think I need to do more volume automation. I think it'd be nice if the whole thing just really kind of crept in. So let's see what we can do. Maybe the maybe the bell sound could creep in. So now I'm quite happy with the level of that actually in the mix. from where the track kicks in properly. So if I put a node there and then one back here, now I don't want it to sort of creep up from nothing. I want it to be audible, so let's try setting it like that. Right, that's going to creep in and get louder. So maybe now do the same thing with the slam knob, which I've lost track of. There. Again, I'm happy with the volume of that, or more or less at least, later on. So, why does it do that? Okay, take that off. Guesstimate. Right, okay, I like that better. Now, mini bit, I think could also be a bit quieter at the start and creep in. Maybe not quite so much. Just bring it down a little. So now you've got the rain. No, quieter than that. I want it to be like you've got the rain and then you can hear things in the distance in the rain, which gradually get louder as if they're coming closer or you're getting closer to them. I must be adjusting the wrong thing there because that's virtually on zero. Yes, I am. I am adjusting the wrong thing. Okay, let's delete that automation. So despite my helpful, brilliant advice, make sure you're adjusting the right thing before you do it, I've just, again, gone and done it wrong. Right. So what you do is you go to this window here, make sure it's on volume or the parameter that you want to automate, and then you go and automate it. So that volume there, and this one here. like that. Right. Now, just listen to it on just that playthrough there. I think that's nearly there, but it doesn't quite reach. It doesn't quite reach the beginning of the track like I thought it would. I thought I might actually be too close to the beginning of the track. So do I need to bring in a? Maybe I need to bring in a drone under the whole thing. Did any of you throw your favourite drone apps into the chat like I asked you to? I'm not seeing any. I think that's kind of enough now. What about other than adding a drone? Let's just have a look at effects. So I ought to just label these speakers and noises, just so that I know what I'm doing when I go to the desk. Speakers and noises. In Horrible GarageBand Green. Now, Synthmaster 1 for drones. Mynth is awesome for noise. Yes, it is. And I probably wouldn't have thought that one, but yes, it is. Okay. That's what I was going to do. Just check my sends. So noises, we're not sending to any effects. Speakers, we're not sending to any effects. The others, we are. Actually, we're not sending the bells to any. Should check what's on that channel. Right. Okay, let's just add those then. So the bells, we're going to send to Lunar Lander. And we'll just solo that and just check that out and see what that sounds like. And speakers. And noises. Just get a sensible amount of reverb on the bells. Do we need reverb on rain? I don't think we need to add reverb to rain. Okay, I think that noises and lines are coming in a little bit loud. Other than that, I'm pretty happy. So let's just bring both of those things down ever so slightly. Noises, volume. There we go. Distant thunder. Is that too cliche? It's a really good question, because when I was talking about in the first stream about all of this, how to make a horror soundtrack, I did talk about, effects that you can add, sound effects that are common to horror films, like thunder and, screams and howling and chains clanking and all that. And although they're kind of like, they're a bit stereotypical, you could say they're a bit predictable and obvious. At the same time, a lot of those, the biggest movies that have those soundtracks that we love, they do use that stuff. So yeah, people like cliches, don't they? People like cliches. They help them know how they're supposed to feel. But I don't know. So that's why I didn't include stuff like that. Although I did have the droning bell, but I wanted to make a piece of music that sort of told the story without the obvious sound effects. But I wouldn't be opposed to adding some thunder. I don't. I can't put my finger on any thunder though. Unless is there a thunder sound in Logic Pro? I don't know. Let's just see what it's like now with those adjustments in levels, and then I'll have a look. Come on, Rain, where are you? It went right back to bar one. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, there we go. Rain. Yeah, I think that's all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that back to the beginning of the track to stop all those. Now that I've automated the volumes up from zero before any of the MIDI starts for any of the parts, as soon as I take the needle back to the beginning of the track, it cuts them all off. Right, so from here into the beginning of the music. I feel like if the if the volumes just started to fade maybe into the beginning of the track, but maybe if there was a drone underneath, or indeed some thunder. So let's just have a look, right? I downloaded every sound. When I downloaded Logic Pro, I downloaded every single sound because I couldn't be asked to pick through them all. And to be honest, most of them I will never ever use. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I want to do this, don't I? I'm forgetting how to get an internal sound. Okay, so we'll just go to search. I mean, there's a lot of great sounds in. There really are. There's an awful lot of great sounds, which is another thing that separates this DAW from Cubase's 3 for me. In Cubase's 3, I see the internal sounds as being like sounds you can work with. You could write something with it, but there's not many sounds in it that'd end up in a finished recording. Right. Thunder. Okay, there are two results. So if I hang on. Whoa. That was kind of loud. Is everybody awake? Yeah. I should have just recorded some genuine Sheffield thunder. Quite right. I really should have turned that down before I pressed it again. Okay, that's not a thunder sound. That's a tom sound. Let's do that again. Thunder. Oh, can't type. Thunderous ambience. Can't say I like that a lot, but it did give me an idea. We could have some of those slammer drums in the introduction. That could work. All right, well, let's have a look at the other idea, though. What about a drone? Because we're pretty much there. We just need something that sort of ties this in and brings it into the beginning of the track. Just kind of bridges that slight gap between the two. Yeah, what am I doing? Add a track. And we'll get Minth, as was mentioned earlier. Right, and I'll go to that track and turn it down like a smarty pants and try not to blow anyone's ears out. And then we'll go on that track and have a look at Minth. Okay. Right, okay. Let's have a look at some presets here. We've got leads, basses, effects, pads. Now I'm going to take my keyboard octave down. Maybe down one more. Okay, somewhere between those two. Okay. Oh. That's not half bad. Okay. Remember concrete. I did not enjoy that. It's a little bit too Mad Scientist Lab. There's a definite mad science vibe to this app. Or like that. Yeah, I do like that. Well, let's have a look at the effects though while we're here. What would that be like another octave down? Okay, not enough resonance in the low end. I could do like a whole Doctor Who episode with this. That's the kind of thing. Yeah. Alright, let's go back to a little look at that one. Right. Turdies. Oh. Right. Okay. Now there's something about this sound. I really, really like the sound. But that thing that it's doing, I'd like it to be a bit quieter. Is that one? There we are. Yeah, I prefer that without. Now, what we got here? Pitch one up. There, that's nice. Okay, what's it like in the track? Rain. Right. Okay, got it. So that I want to come in here. This is an easy one. Okay. Right. I've played more difficult parts. Right, we'll go in there and we'll just make that start bang on the beginning of the bar and end bang on there. Right, now I can edit my MIDI part, make it look nice and tidy. Go snap to bar. Yes, there we go, like that. And then what we're going to do is adjust the volume for it. Which it sounds about right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add some automation to bring these background sounds down in volume, ready for the track starting. So I want them to be fading away but not faded out. That could be interesting. Alright. Start with the top one. Okay, so distant bells, if I move this across there like that, and then we'll add another node. Oh no. No, don't adjust that, because that's exactly as we want it to stay. Yes. And mini bit doesn't get used in the project again after this bit, so that can fade out. Okay, so we'll bring this node across here, and then we'll add one down here. There. Lines. We'll bring the volume of it down for the start of the project, and then down completely a bar in. So like this. Yeah. Because it's not going to sound right if all those effects just suddenly stop and the track kicks in. We need to spill over slightly, but not so much. Right, now speakers, volume. That's the rain. So the rain, I'm just going to fade out kind of slowly, like that. And then noises. Similar. And the drone should be alright, okay? Right, let's check it out. Okay, well, I think that's pretty close. I mean, that's like, yeah, I will pissy pants around with this a little more, just fine tuning it ever so slightly. But pretty much, it's pretty much there. So let me just take this so we'll get rid of that background noise. Okay, so the point of this more than anything, why is my camera like that? Let's just adjust that a little bit. So the point of this more than anything really was to complete my track with an atmospheric beginning that I really wanted, but also I really wanted to show not an in-depth tutorial on each audio thing app, but just to show you that there's a great wealth of noise-makey things from audio thing that are extremely well coded. They're really, really well thought out and very, very creative. And it's really nice to have those tools. Like I said earlier, there's an awful lot of other things that you could use for this very sort of thing. But I think Audio Thing have really, really got it nailed on with this stuff. So great developer, and I just think they deserve a bit of a shout out. All right, so the track, other than that last little bit of tweaking and pissy panting around and doing the sort of final mix and mastering and putting it out there, we're very, very close. So this will be the last stream for this track. What I will do from here is when I've finished having a little final tweak and pissy pants around, then I will then commit each track to real audio before I mix. There's a lot going on in this track. There's an awful lot of AV3s being used, and there will be more as I start to, EQ and compress and process things a little while I'm mixing. So, as I go through each one, I'll finalize it, commit it to real audio, and then only when everything is real audio will I actually mix. That's how I do it, and I believe very strongly that that is the way to do it. So during the process of making this track, I feel like I've learned a fair bit. I mean, I knew all the stuff about the outside notes and the weird chords and how to put things together in a way that sounded menacing and spooky and stuff. But it's not something I do regularly. And it's not really until you actually come to it and you actually throw yourself into it and you do it that you really learn it. And in doing so, I've learned stuff and I've enjoyed it. And I kind of feel like I could carry on from here and do it like a ton more spooky tracks. I really hope they ask me to make music for Doctor Who. I think I could do that, Anyway, I feel like I've learnt stuff, and that's always good. And I think I've added something to my roster of tracks that I'm kind of trying to line up a bunch of tracks, to sort of showcase what I can do as I move forward, trying to get work, making music for video games or film or whatever. So I've made a decision this week. So you guys who are here now, I'll tell you about it before I go. I've made a decision this week. My next serious, proper, nicely edited video will probably be about this, because they've sent me the, I did a stream a couple of weeks ago on the iRig USB HDX. I had to look over there to see what it's called, because the box is there. And they've sent me this iRig USB, which is kind of the smaller, simpler, cheaper version. And I'm predicting right now that this is going to be an absolutely massive seller. This is going to be off the charts. I'm gonna have to do a video about this and show why it's so amazing. And other than that, my next video will be about pursuing getting into that side of the industry where I make tracks for a movie or for a TV show or for games, because I don't know that side of the industry. I've worked with lots of name artists. I know lots of people in the music business. I've, you know, I have lots and lots of great contacts and know lots of famous people. And yet, having done all that work in the music business, I have no idea how to step into that other territory. So I'm going to start pursuing that, and I figure I'll make videos about that because that could probably be very helpful to quite a few people, like I'm sure there's lots of people who'd like to know how to get through that door. And so if I make videos about my progress, and getting told to piss off and a door slammed in my face, if nothing else, it might be a great bit of entertainment. So that's where I'm going next. So now that I've finished this track, more or less, I will get that finished off. I'll make those videos. So there'll be, I think the next thing from me is there's going to be a couple of nicely edited videos. And then maybe I'll do a series of live streams again about making another kind of track. But to be absolutely honest with you, whilst it's been fantastic doing this, I've really, really enjoyed doing this. I love, like I said before, I love making music with friends watching and friends in the chat, and it's great. But my views are incredibly poor, really, and it's something that I just I don't know. I don't know if I can continue to pursue it, because it's just like nobody's interested in watching it apart from you few excellent people. It's just I'm just not reaching people. So I think a change of direction is in order. I'm not saying I won't do them anymore, but I just can't afford to pour tons and tons of time into it anymore. All right. So anyway, if you have any thoughts on that and what the future ought to be for me and YouTube and streaming and all that business, then get in touch with me and let me know. You know how to reach me, and I'm always happy to hear from you. And don't think for 1 second that I don't massively appreciate and value you guys who do tune in and watch and help and put up with me and stuff. All right. So I will play you out with this track. Thank you very much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget, make lots of music. If you have any problems while you're making music, reach out to me anytime. And be kind and be good. And eat lots of cake. And try not to piss your pants about. I'll leave you with this. Bye. Stupid hippie.